Good morning, everybody. Been sitting up looking at these election results coming in all night. Got almost no sleep. I hope you did. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Let's get into the good, the bad, the ugly, and what we're expecting in November. Well, look, bottom line, I'm feeling good. I am feeling good about the election results last night. There's some of it that makes me sad. It is. There's some of it that just makes me sad. There's some drama, some tragedy. But there's good news too. Let's start with this. This is last night. Pretty much will put a dagger in the heart of the idea that Trump has any kind of tailwind going into the next election. These guys were all people that Trump came out hard for. You got Mark Burns and over in North Carolina. You got Dave Williams in Colorado, Trent Staggs in Utah. All of them just close as they could be to Trump, and all of them went down in flames. All of them. It's just the idea that Trump is some sort of kingmaker or has coattails for people to ride. Especially Mark Burns over in South Carolina. He is just, that one was one that Trump just pulled for so damn hard. And it's hilarious to watch it happen. You've got Bob Good in West Virginia, who is a dirtbag. He's just a dirtbag. But Trump had a personal vendetta against Bob Good and pulled out all the stops to try to get him taken out because he was pissed at Bob Good because Bob Good came out early for Ron DeSantis, and it was payback time. So Trump just really came out hard for his opponent, and it's too close to call. It is too close to call. It's within 300 votes. They're going to do a recount. Be honest with you, I think looking at this, Bob Good's going to end up keeping his seat because you know as well as I do, if there are shenanigans going on, it's with a Trumper. It's with a Trumper. And if there are any shenanigans or miscalculations, Republicans will cheat, folks. They will. They will frickin' cheat. They're going to cheat on behalf of Trump and Trump's candidate. So when the daylight gets shined on everything and they start recounting, I suspect Trump's going to fail there also. That's not a good thing because he's a nutball. Bob Good is just a right-wing conservative freak. And yeah, they're going to a recount there. They are going to a recount. So let's talk about the sad news. You know, when Jamaal Bowman got elected, we all had such high hopes. I mean, we were all excited. Young blood, revitalization. Just, everybody had such high hopes. And he was a walking gaff factory. And he got destroyed in his primary. He got beaten badly. We're talking almost a 20-point blowout by George Latimer. This was one of the races that just the whole Gaza thing just blew up in Jamaal Bowman's face. It really did. He just insulted the crap out of his district. This is his district. This is Jamaal Bowman's district. Folks, you have to serve your constituents. You cannot be radically different from your constituents. You just cannot. And Jamaal Bowman's district was the Bronx up through Westchester County. And he just dug a hole with the Westchester County vote. He just did. And a lot of folks are saying, oh, well, it was AIPAC and their money and this, that, and the other. Yeah, that was huge. Don't get me wrong. That was huge. I mean, hell, we got people, mea culpa here, talking about AIPAC's $14 million. The problem is with that logic is Bowman was in like a 17-point hole before AIPAC spent a penny. This is a lesson that we need to learn, folks. You have to serve your constituency. All of his district up in the upper part there is Westchester County. They are not the Bronx, and it showed. Look at the results. Look at the results. In the Bronx, Jamaal Bowman pulled in 83% of the vote. Really just beat George Latimer in the Bronx. But the problem is, where are the people that vote? They're in Westchester County, the northern part of his district. And George Latimer just decimated him in Westchester County. This is a lesson in self-inflicted wounds. It really is. And it's a damn shame. I remember how excited I was when Jamaal Bowman got elected. I really do. I really do. Here's the thing, folks. And I'll use an example you can understand because that will be personal to you. The last show we did, I'll give you a personal example. The last show we did, I talked about Israel and their ultra right-wing problem. I was very hard on Israel. I got so many bots that came out on my social media and talked about things we never even discussed in the last show. I mean, I think anybody that watched the last show could say that show was highly critical of Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli far right and the problems they're causing. But the bots came out of the woodwork. Obviously not human beings, because things they said that things that were just not even in the show. But people think they're real. Stupidly think they're real. To their own demise think they're real. Midas had a great piece on ChatGPT. Russia forgot to pay its ChatGPT bill. And all of a sudden, their bots on X started getting outed as being bots. People see the source code. And people that understood how ChatGPT worked started having those bots make up songs and just make fun of Donald Trump. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. That's what happened to Jamaal Bowman. Is he didn't understand his own district. He bought into the stuff that I talked to so many people online about. You cannot fall into the false fantasy land narrative. You just can't. And it cost Jamaal Bowman his job. There are other people that are, like Rashida Tlaib. Y'all know I'm not a fan, but she serves her district. Dearborn, Michigan, absolutely is aligned with Rashida Tlaib. Some people have nicknamed Dearborn Yemen, USA. Cori Bush, another member of the squad, St. Louis. Her district is St. Louis and St. Louis County. The things she says align with the people in her district. Jamaal Bowman and the things he said did not align with the people of Westchester County. It just didn't. And it's a damn shame. It really is. It's a damn shame. Because I know I was really excited when he got elected. I really was. I was, new young person, more new blood into the party. Come on, people. Come on. But yeah, that is a tragedy. It is a shame. We've got another, but George Latimer is a good candidate. He's got substantial support. We will hold that seat. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for the party. That is a good thing for the party. We had results come in from Colorado's 4th district. Of course, Lauren Boebert is going to be the representative there. But this one's really interesting, folks. This has got to be nightmare fuel for the Colorado Republican Party, because not only did their former head lose, their Trump-endorsed head, Williams, lose, Lauren Boebert's results are really not looking that great. They are not looking that great. I want you to take a look at this. This is Colorado's 4th. They're like, oh man, she won a commanding win. Well, yeah, she did with 52,000 votes versus say 17, 16. But look at all of the candidates and the substantial numbers of votes they brought in. These, a large number of these Republican voters are not going to turn out for Lauren Boebert. And you want to know how I know? Well, it's really simple. Take a look at the special election that was happening at the same time. We've got results that came in from the, let me pull up the special election results. One second. This is from CBS. I won't play the video, but you can see the results. Greg Lopez won the special election there. Democrats don't show up for special elections. They don't show up for off-year elections. They don't show up at primaries. Our numbers are always substantially lower during the primaries than Republicans are. It's just a political fact. If one of you folks know how to cure that, I would love to hear it. I would love to have that discussion with you. But it is just a fact. But you take a look at the Republicans and their support for Greg Lopez on the same exact ballot, they were voting for all of the other candidates. You notice Greg Lopez is not one of those other candidates. He pulled in 72,000 votes. Tricia Calvarez, who won, the Democratic nominee, was on the same ballot, pulled in all of the Democratic votes. Folks, there were 120,000 Republicans that showed up and voted on this ballot. Let me show you. Let me go back and show you. $120,000. If you total up all of the candidates, there's 120,000 Republicans that showed up to vote in this primary, 50,000 of them did not vote for Lopez. That is a massive undervote. That is massive. But every Democrat that showed up, if you take a look at the figures down here for Calvary's, you remember we had Ike McCorkle on the show when he first declared. I gotta take my hat off to Tricia Calvary's. She did an amazing job. She ran a candidacy as the presumptive candidate. She never went after Ike McCorkle or John Pedora. She focused on Boebert the entire time. She focused on getting her ground game out. She did a traditional election. She comes from the AFL-CIO. She has experience working with the AFL-CIO. She understands how important people are, and she just got it done. She just got it done. She did. Hats off to her. She ran an outstanding campaign. But if you look at the totals, the vote totals, damn near every Democrat that showed up voted for Tricia Calvary's in that special election. Folks, this November, Democrats are going to be coming out of the woodwork. This is a presidential election coming up. That's when the Democrats show up. And the Democratic, you did not have that anti-Trump, anti-establishment, anti-negativity that, vote that the Republicans have. They are a massively divided party. I am telling you, that is one of the reddest districts there is. And you had over 50,000 Republicans not vote in the special election on the same ballot that they showed up and voted in the primary. That's insane. That is insane. So yeah, even though Boebert's on the ballot, and let's be honest, Boebert being on the ballot is a good thing. It is a good thing. And what I want you to take away from this is that there are no seats that are not up for grabs. In the reddest of red districts, we are competing. We are competing. You've got Adam Frisch over in Colorado's third. That is more than likely going to be a flip. That's the district that Boebert ran from because she knew she couldn't win. Then you've got her stank all over Colorado's fourth district now. And this is a very, very much an anti-Trump election. People are showing up. They're saying, look, we're not going to do the fascism. We're not going to do the Trumpism. We're not going to go back to putting kids in cages. We're not going to go, we're not going to continue to take women's rights away. We're not going to tell women you can't get divorced. We're not going to tell women, what they have to do with their own bodies when they're pregnant. Here in the state of Texas, everything going into November, I want you to picture this. Everything that we said would happen because of the draconian laws here in Texas are happening. Teen pregnancies are skyrocketing here in the state of Texas. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. The number of stillbirths, the number of babies born dead is skyrocketing here in the state of Texas. Just skyrocketing. Forgive me. It's just skyrocketing. And yeah, this is the next point. Thank you, Melissa Miller. I love that you folks are so informed and so on top of that. This is the old number that's about to be updated. 26,000 rape-related pregnancies here in the state of Texas. We've got a huge rape problem here in the state of Texas. We do. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But that's what we're looking at. You've got a Republican Party that is grappling with its own soul, with a huge percentage of Republicans that are coming out and saying, "Look, I'm not doing this. I am not doing this. We're not doing this nastiness anymore. We're not everything that Lauren Boebert represents." You've got people, about 20% of the Republican Party that says, "We're done." Yeah, 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 he did. Yeah, Greg Abbott, my idiotic governor, useless, worthless governor who should resign, said he was going to stop all the rapes, and he's done nothing but run with Putin's anti-immigrant war on immigration warfare nonsense. Just made up bullshit. He's done nothing to govern. No, there are way more rapes in Texas. These are the number of children that women are being forced to bear. 26,000 so far. 26,000 of their rapist children they're being forced to bear here in the state of Texas. So yeah, it is not a good thing. We are going into this election. We are going into this election, and Tailwind doesn't even begin to cover it. It doesn't even begin to cover it. This is with Project 2025. I talk about it all the time. It is, we're staring down the barrel of fascism. We're staring down the barrel of people that are telling us out loud they want to take away Social Security. They want to take away Medicare. They want to take away your public schools. They want to end the Department of Education. They want to fire government employees because there's governments filled with employees that believe in government. Weird, huh? I mean, that you would actually be doing a job that's necessary for the American people, and think it's important. They want to fire all those people. We had the head of the Heritage Foundation telling you out of his own mouth. That's all real. They're telling you this out of their own mouth. And what do they have on the other side? Bots. They have bots coming into my folks. You saw the last show. I was hard as hell on Israel. And I had bots all over my social media portraying our last show as though I just squatted and took a big giant dump on Palestinian. And it's bots. It's all bots. It's all Chat GPT. I was talking to an attorney about that. Not like just an attorney friend. It was just a discussion. The Devil of Dallas. Thank you for the support, man. I really appreciate it. What happened to Ryan Hamilton's wife in Texas was nothing short of theocrat. Yeah, absolutely. But I was talking to an attorney friend of mine about social media, because I'll put a post up, and there will just be a ton of abusive comments. Most of them don't even align with whatever I post. And X, it's always on X. It's not on Threads. It's on X. And you'll get these Chat GPT bots that just make abusive comments. And I was like, man, you'd think there would be like a class action lawsuit against Chat GPT. And he was telling me, no, you've got it wrong. He said, think of it this way. If there's a person that's holding up a bullhorn and screaming horrific things at you, you can sue the person, You can sue the person that platforms that person, but you can't sue the company that makes the bullhorn. And that was like bing, lights going on. I was like, wow, that makes perfect freaking sense. That makes perfect freaking sense. Because on X, you're the product. Folks, anything that's free to you to use, you're the product. You are the product. They're selling access to you, to their advertisers, to their political operations, to, that's where their money comes from. Selling you, selling access to you. You're the product. So if somebody's being abusive to somebody, that, there is it doesn't matter what you signed in as far as the legal documents that you have to sign with every one of these apps, because those documents those terms of service don't overrule law, period. And if X is providing you as a product, they have a responsibility. And if they know that there are bots, which they do, they can see the code. They know they're bots that are being abusive, doing nothing but being abusive. I guarantee you, I can put a post out about making cupcakes, and someone will a post will show up from a bot that doesn't exist. It's not a human being. It doesn't exist. It's a bot. Will show up that says, I'm a fat, stupid Democrat. That's abusive. Who's liable for that? X. In my opinion, X. I would love to see a class action lawsuit, because they are the one providing the forum. They are providing the format. It's not Chat GPT. They're just the bullhorn. They're just the tool. And you can't sue Russia, who funds all these bots. That was hilarious, folks. You've got to go to Midas and take a look at that. That was just hilarious. They've got a video of it. Brett did a video of it over at Midas. It was just hilarious. You could see the source code from the bot, and then people just giving them instructions on stupid shit to do, different idiotic songs to write, and then they had full control of that bot until Russia paid their bills again. But yeah, folks, don't fall for that. Learn to recognize what is real and what is astroturf. Learn to recognize what is real and what is astroturf. That is just going to be the future from now on. That's what the longest green that AI is making. There's going to be $14 billion spent in this next election this November. $14 billion. And these tech companies are selling AI to get as much of that $14 billion as possible to try to create A, bandwagon effect, B, try to discourage people. Your average person comes to social media to talk, and then they get abuse thrown at them from somebody that's not even, from something that's not even a human being, to discourage them from posting. And on the opposite end of it, you get these bots that actually encourage people on the right wing. We Democrats, again, behind the curve on this. We really are behind the curve on this. We don't have an invisible fake cheering section and group of abusive jackasses that are digital fakes. We're not doing this. But hey, the right wing, the Russia Republican Party absolutely is. But that doesn't translate to votes. And that's where I was going with that. And that's what got Jamaal Bowman. He got high on his own supply. He said stupid shit that pissed off his own district. And there are people saying, oh, well, AIPAC did it. Let's chalk this one up for AIPAC. AIPAC didn't do crap. Yeah, they funded Latimer 7-1. Latimer had money falling out of his ears. But again, Bowman was down by 17 points before they spent a dime. And he lost by 17 points. We've got to be smart, folks. We've got to be smart. We really do. And speaking of smart, I want to play this for you. This is from Tricia Calvary's. She's going to be running against Bobo in the 4th district. She just pulled in, like I said, they had the special election. She pulled in every Democrat that showed up to vote. 2 things that I want before we get to that. One, I need you. We need to crowdsource this. You are brilliant people. You are smart people. You are informed people. You know, we got people like Heidi Gordon here. We got people like, we have a ton of people. Ask Heidi about getting Democrats to show up in an off-year election. Ask Heidi. She's boots on the ground, man. She works her ass off to do good things. She's the real deal. Rubber meets the road. I know she hates when I call her out like that, but she is a wonderful human being that works her butt off. She's a person to talk to about this. And I really want us to crowdsource this before November. I want to know, how do we start getting Democrats to show up in special elections? How do we start getting Democrats to show up before the world is burning to the ground? It is. It's hard to get them out in a presidential primary, but we'll show up for the election. We'll show up in November. That's a good thing. I mean, that's a great thing. That's not a negative comment. We will do it. How do we get people to understand that these people, these elections that are going on in the off years, the Republicans actually have a strategy to hold elections on off election times, because they know, man, their voters, the churches will have a massive get out the vote effort. They know that their people are just freaking hardcore. How do we fix that? You know, that's not a dumb idea, except for the fact that you can't legally buy voters. Motivation. I hear what you're saying. Motivation. That would be a good thing. ET says, if you can't saddle women with crippling school debt, then saddle them with crippling medical debt because of their authoritarian policies. Exactly. That is, that's why I'm hopeful about this election. I really think that we can end the Republican Party as we know it. We can make room. We've done it before. There was a Federalist Party, the Bull Moose Party. We have had different parties spring up in the past. It is part of our history. We've always been a 2-party system, but we've always had parties come and go. And it is time for the Republican Party to go. It really is. I'm not exactly sure what you mean that moderate Democrats are in the way, because if you look at this last election, that's one of the things that, I'll skip to the end here. That moderate Democrats did really well. Not the fake ass Democrats that try to be Republican light. Like I'm about to show you this ad that Tricia Calvary's ran. She's not running as Republican light. She just isn't. She's running as full-throated Democrat. But fringe out there, that's what killed Jamaal Bowman, is that he was on the very edge of the spectrum. And he lost by 17 points. Here, let me play this ad for you. Let me get this out there. She ran this months ago. This isn't a brand new ad. This isn't to like plug a free ad for her. This is so that you can see how she won this election.
6 months ago, I sat in this very room with my mom and dad. My mom had just been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. My dad was already fighting his own cancer battle. Mom made it 2 weeks before we lost her. Heartbroken, my dad followed 13 days later. My name is Trisha Calvarese, and I love them so much. I thank God every day that my dad's union pension covered his treatment, that Medicare provided both of my parents the care they needed, and it gave us precious time together in the comfort of our home. I'm running against Boebert for 2 reasons. One, because before he died, my dad told me to step up. That meant a lot coming from a guy who voted Republican his entire life. And two, because Boebert supports gutting Medicare and Social Security. She voted against lowering prescription drug costs, including the ones that extended my dad's life. And I can't let that stand. I was raised in Sterling, Colorado, then Highlands Ranch. My parents were conservatives. They taught me the importance of family, community, and serving others. And they were repelled by the cruelty of Boebert. Her own constituents are too. She can't win re-election in her own district, so she's running here instead, bringing her extreme voting record and chaos to our communities, like banning abortion with no exceptions, voting against veterans' health care, or supporting a plan to cut Medicare for seniors. Boebert doesn't care what would have happened to my parents if they didn't have Medicare. She doesn't care about your family either, or about the people like our hospice nurse who are underpaid and overworked. But I do, because I've been there. This November, what if we voted for dignity and hard work instead? For letting people live their lives the way they want, in peace. For stronger communities and opportunities, good jobs, and affordable healthcare. That's the future I want. That's the future my parents wanted. Join me, and let's send Boebert home.
She ran that months ago, even before she had locked it up. That's a smart ad. That is a smart ad. That is how we win this election. Drawing those comparisons. You've got crazy, you've got fascism, you've got their own words, their own. I know, right? I know, right? You know, it's a fantastic ad. It really is. This is the way. And the beautiful part about it, it's all truth. It's all truth. 100%. We Democrats are supporting Medicare. We're supporting Medicaid. We're supporting Social Security. We're keeping everything. We're governing. We're not being the crazy. What are the Republicans doing? Awfulness. Just awfulness. Just anything horrible they can say. Buddied up with Russia, trying to destroy our democracy. These ads that show the juxtaposition, the only thing that I would like to see is I would like to see some harder hitting ads. I would like to see some ads punching people in the throat for some of the stuff that they say. And I think that's going to come as things heat up, September, October. I think we're going to see more of that. Because, I mean, folks, really, I don't know how to solve the Democrats don't show up. I wish I did. Democrats don't show up for special elections. Democrats don't show up in primaries. Democrats don't show up in local elections. Democrats don't show. I don't know why. I don't know why, because they're so important. We need to fix that. We need to fix that. We have to show up other than the presidential election years. We do. We do. But this is a presidential election year. And it's an election year with the differences couldn't be more stark. They just couldn't be more stark between what Democrats are doing and what Republicans are doing. And the momentum's on our side. The momentum's on our side. We did do better in 2018 and 2022. We did. We did do better. But not nearly what we need to do. Folks, and this is what I want to end this topic with. This is what I want to end this topic with. The biggest pool of voters to pull from is not Democrats or Republicans or the fanciful unicorn independent voter that doesn't exist, has never existed. There's always been a group. There's every election, people are like, oh no, they're not going to show up because of Gaza. I said, no, they're going to show up. They're going to show up. That person that's saying that isn't going to show up, but they weren't going to show up anyways. We never counted on them because perennially, every election, it will be something. Oh, if you don't do this, I'm not going to show up. I'm not going to vote. And that every election, that's every election. Ignore that. The big pool of voters are the people that, God, I love you people. I was just about to say her name. Rachel Bidikofer in her book talks about this. They're the people that on election day led the highest number of Google searches, were a basketball player, and if I remember correctly, a television show. And yeah, she's doing a great job. Rachel Bidikofer, thanks for the support, Heidi. I really appreciate you. I really do. Yeah. On frickin' election day, the number one thing people were Googling was a basketball player and a television show. That's the pool. That's the vast number. Those are the people that aren't voting. They're not paying attention. They don't know any of this. And it's our job to go get them. You're not going to win over Republicans. You're not. It's their personal identity. It is their identity. There's going to be a segment of Republicans in this election that don't vote. But people keep talking about this unicorn. I'm voting for Joe. I've been a Republican my whole life, but I'm voting for Joe Biden. Stop with that. It's like 5 of you. That's not the big pool. You know these people. They're the people that don't pay attention. Show them. Show them Project 2025. Show them, hey man, look, they want to take Medicare away. I'm old. Do you want to have to care for me? Because that's what happened before we had Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security is your grandparents had to live with you. I don't know, folks. You're as smart as they come. You are the best group of people on the internet. 100%, hands down. How do we get to those people? And that's what I want to start. I want to do a roundtable discussion. How do we get those folks? Because that is, I'm telling you, folks, undisputably, the biggest pool of voters that we can get are the people that just don't vote, period. How do we get them there? And now's the time to do it. You can't do it right before the election because the Republicans will make sure that they can't get registered. We've got to be going after these people now. I mean, I'm trying. I'm every day, I am working. I am doing this show. It's one of the reasons I do it. What can we do as a collective? I think, I don't know, I'll throw a suggestion out there, and then I want to hear your suggestions. I think that we need to start having conversations with people in our families in stark terms, in very stark terms. Show them what they say out of their own mouths. I mean, there's plenty of information out there. We just had a Republican talking about when Trump gets elected, we're going to suspend habeas corpus. You know what habeas corpus is? They used to be able to arrest you and throw you in a jail cell and keep you there. Habeas corpus just means present the body. It's Latin for present the body. It's what prevents the government from just holding you indefinitely. They have to bring you before a judge. We've got a Republican talking about, it's one of the most fundamental, one of the most fundamental aspects of our judicial system is that you must have your day in court. And you have Republicans out there talking about when Trump gets elected, we're going to clean house. We're going to suspend habeas corpus. Folks, that's just telling you to your face that they want to throw you in a jail cell and throw away the key. That's what, you know what? I'm going to find it. I'm going to get it for you real quick. Bear with me. It'll take 2 minutes. I'm not going to expect you to just do the work. I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to show you. Won't take but about 2 to 3 minutes to just Google it and find it. Meanwhile, I want to see your suggestions while I'm looking at this. I put it up. I shared it. And I'm trying to figure out which platform I shared it on. All right. I think we got it here. I think this is it. Let's see if this is it.
Today, I'll put forth legislation on President Trump's first day in office to suspend the writ of habeas corpus. This will give President Trump the authority to arrest and imprison the treasonous officials and subversives who now occupy positions across our government.
That guy's running for Congress in the state of Florida and wants to suspend the writ of habeas corpus. And I'm habeas.
Today, I'll put forth legislation on President Trump's first day in office to suspend the writ of habeas corpus. This will give President Trump the authority to arrest and imprison the treasonous officials and subversives who now occupy positions across our government.
I'm the subversive. I'm the subversive. Said it out loud. Yeah, said it out loud, folks. Absolutely. Who are the officials? Democrats. Every Democrat. Just going to flat out arrest them. No habeas corpus. No trials. No present the body. None of, just all the legal bedrock that is our judicial system. They're going to hand all that power to Trump. and they're not scared to say it out loud. Those are the things I'm thinking that those people are out there that are like, I don't do politics. You all know those people. I don't do politics. I don't stop talking to me about politics. I don't do politics. They do that. They do the destruction of our judicial system. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate you, McBaron. Miss McBaron. Yeah, folks. I'm telling you, that's what we need to be doing. Your kids, your grandkids. When somebody tries to talk to you, when some Republican tries to talk to you about something stupid, you know what? Look, you overturn Roe v. Wade. We have stillbirths going through the roof, teen pregnancies going through the roof. Everything that we said would happen is happening. They're talking about taking away no-fault divorces. Ladies, they're trying to take away your ability to leave a marriage. And they're saying it out loud. I can find that one for you too if you wanted me to spend a couple of minutes looking it up. They're really trying to go back there, folks. They're talking about mass deportations. 20 million people going to kick them out of the country. And on the other end of it, we have Democrats where we just set another record for job creation. We're just governing. That's all. Just doing the job. I mean, Republicans are sorry sons of bitches. They really are. They're trying to hold these bullshit hearings. Well, the damn spy witnesses confessed to being a Russian spy. That he's getting his talking points from the Russian intelligence services. Confessed it out of his mouth. And they want to talk about idiotic stuff like that. Well, we're just governing. Just doing the job. Inflation's coming down. Inflation's getting to the point now where, if we hadn't had the damn bump after COVID because of Trump and his idiocy, what did those idiots do when they had power? They didn't prepare for post-COVID America. They didn't prepare, in the middle of a pandemic. I mean, can it get any more telling than that? We have a pandemic. I was watching the interview with Dr. Fauci on Rachel Maddow. Just listening to him talk, and you can just hear the pain in his voice. We're talking about Trump was just hoping it would go away. And when it didn't, they had to, he started looking for a miracle cure. And that's when he started telling people to take hydroxychloroquine or colloidal silver or ivermectin. We literally have a disease now called ivermectin syndrome that didn't used to exist. You know that? We do. We have a new disease now. It's called ivermectin syndrome. It's idiots during COVID that ate so much freaking horse paste that they have literally crapped the linings of their stomach and intestines out. And they're going to require health care for life. You have people that turn themselves freaking blue drinking colloidal silver because the government wasn't doing its damn job. And Democrats do. I tell people all the time, all government is doing things that you cannot do for yourself. You cannot mount a national defense yourself. You can't. You just can't. You can't build highways yourself or electrical grids or anything else on that level. That's what government does. And we Democrats want to do it. What do Republicans do? Whatever the billionaire frat boy club tells them they want done. The billionaire frat boy club tells them schools aren't important. I don't need somebody to be able to think critically to shove a steering column in a vehicle. What do we need schools for? So what do? They come up with these damn tax credit voucher programs that are going to force your schools to issue tax credits to the wealthiest among us so they don't have to pay for schools. That's all Republicans do, is find new ways for their billionaire frat boy club to screw us. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Softball Paul says, just look at Russia. That's exactly what Russia is. 20% of that country doesn't have indoor plumbing. Republicans think it's the greatest thing in the world, man. Listen to them talk about Russia. 20% of that damn country does not have indoor plumbing. I mean, my God. Really? Really? I like our kind of problems. I do. I really like our kind of problems. Where we get pissed off when the electric grid fails twice a year here in Texas, when it's hot and when it's cold. The electric grid fails. I can deal with that problem. I can. I can fix that problem. 20% of the country doesn't have a shitter in their house. Come on, man. Come on. And they think it's Valhalla. They talk about Russia like it's the greatest thing ever. And what is it? It's a damn monarchy. And the oligarchs are freaking dukes. And they don't pay for shit. All they do is make sure that Pooty Poot gets his kick in, and that's what makes him arguably the richest man in the world. Colleen Sarah, I appreciate you. My Social Security, Disability, Medicare, 32-year retired RN keeps me alive. I am grateful every day. And Democrats are just saying, "Hey, okay, let's do that. Let's keep doing what's working." I don't know what else to tell you, folks. I am racking my brain. I am slamming my face on the keyboard, trying to figure out how to get Democrats to understand that dog catcher election. That's important. That's important because it establishes your local government, and your local government bleeds out onto your state government, and your state government bleeds out onto the federal government. So what do you think, folks? That's your homework assignment. That's what I want you to do. I want you to go out and I want you to rack your brain and I want you to think of ways. My suggestion is that you start showing people things like Republicans saying they want to suspend habeas corpus. Republicans saying that they want to lock up Democrats wholesale. And the subversives, I am the subversives, folks. That's me. When he says the subversives, that's me. Wants to put me in prison. Throw away the key. And he hasn't even seen my browser history. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, folks, that's what I've got for you today. I appreciate you. I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate that you're decent people. I appreciate that you're my fellow subversives. But yeah, yesterday, just to wrap it up, yesterday was a good thing. As sad as it is to watch the whole story of Jamaal Bowman, It's a good thing. We Democrats, we clean up our own backyard. We do. Menendez isn't going to be running in November either, because we Democrats clean up our own backyard. We do. Matt Gaetz will be there. They're not going to do anything about Matt Gaetz. That pervert will still be there. They're trying to keep Lauren Boebert there, who's just freaking disgusting in public. I mean, really, you couldn't wait till you got back to your hotel room to go be freaky. You had to do that in the middle of a theater. I mean, come on. At a show designed for kids. I'm looking forward to this next election. I don't know about you. I really think that we're going to clean house. I think we're going to clear the decks. We are going to end the Republican Party as we know it. I want to ask you, how many of you are going to vote? How many of you are ride or die Democrats? No matter what the results were, yeah, breaks my heart Jamaal Bowman lost too. It does. I hate that whole arc. I was very excited when he got elected. But how many of you are not going to vote because Jamaal Bowman did not win his primary? How many of you, let me put it this way, how many of you are going to vote? Let me see the ride or die Democrats. Let me see the hearts and skulls. How many of you are going to vote? That's what I'm talking about. No matter what. No matter what. You know, there was an article that got put out, and I've got to tell you, I have never seen the corporate media as bad as it is now. There was I believe it was Washington Post, an editorial put out where they said that we're tired, we're worn out, we're burned out, we're not gonna show up. That's insane. That's insane. My response to that was pretty clear. I would crawl over broken glass that was contaminated with hepatitis C blood to vote in this next election, because I have daughters, I have granddaughters, I have sons that deserve to have at least the country I had. At least the country I had. And that's a pretty damn low bar. We should be handing them off I'm a Gen Xer. We should at least be handing them off a country that is better than what we walked into. That's our job. I love you folks. Thank you for being here. That's what I have for you today. Thank you for all the support. Don't forget to visit the Texas Paul store. Go to realtexaspaul.com. The mugs are there. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the donations. You keep the lights on. You allow me to do this full time. Yeah, yesterday was a good day. Even the sad stories end up being good for us in November. Enjoy some Texas cities at night.